to you. Oh, don't run away. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this. You need to learn your lesson. You shouldn't have come here. You're not leaving here alive.
A lawyer, but I am a mother, and there is a case out of Detroit that has absolutely broken my heart. Let me tell you everything you need to know about why this man has been charged with the death of this 13-year-old little girl.
This is about to be horrible. I could just tell it. This is about to be horrible. Let's see what's going on.
And yes, it's what you're thinking. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that this is a circumstantial case. There's no body, no weapon, and no eyewitness.
It says that the cause of death remains unknown, which, Judge, obviously Ms. Quake is getting to one of the main issues in this case and one of the big questions in this case that I anticipate is going to be a defense argument.
We all know that that's one of the big issues here in this case. So I will admit it with your objection noted.
A little bit of context to set you up. This is Ziyah Harris. She was living with her grandmother, Annette Harris, her aunt, Shannon Harris.
Pretty little girl. Who does this kind of crazy stuff to these kids?
And her aunt Shannon's 5 children. Ziyah's biological mother was not in her life.
Now, you are Ziyah's maternal grandmother, right?
Correct.
You're also her adopted parent, correct?
Correct.
And you said you adopted her in 2016?
Yeah.
Is her birth mother still around?
She is.
Okay. Does she have a relationship with her?
No.
She doesn't have any type of relationship, no contact with her that you know of?
Well, let me say this. I don't deal with my daughter, so.
So it's obvious the grandmother doesn't deal with her daughter, and her daughter had this little girl, and the grandmother has since adopted this little girl, so she's been taking care of her.
Ramon Butts.
Do you have any children?
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
5.
And do all your kids have the same dad?
Yes.
Who's their dad?
Jarvis Butts.
Jarvis has apparently like 13 kids.
Whoa.
He works as a mechanic and he owns an auto body shop with this man whose name is Cordell Wright, aka King. And this body shop that the two own and work at is not too far from where Ziyah lives with her grandmother. Police say that on January 9th, 2023, Ziyah gets off her school bus, but instead of heading home to her grandmother's house, she instead heads toward Jarvis's shop.
All right, they got video footage of all this. Why was she heading towards the shop? That's the question. Here she goes.
It is January 9th, 2024, 2:54 p.m.
Now, before she reaches the shop, Jarvis and King see her as they are on their way back from picking up a part from the auto store.
On our way back from AutoZone, I believe we forgot something, so we ended up turning back around, going back to AutoZone.
You really need to stop lying.
And on our way back, we was coming down Harbor. Jarvis said, "I see my niece right there. She walking." We pulled into Angel's liquor store. I still didn't see her. He pointed across my face, said she right there. She was coming across the street at that time. She got in the truck with us. She spoke, "Hi King, hi Jay," and we proceeded back to the shop.
You really need to stop lying.
Now, multiple people testify about seeing a little girl with Jarvis on January 9th, the day she went missing, including Jarvis's own sister, who brought her car up to the shop that day.
And what's the reason that you went and talked to Detroit police?
I had reason to believe that I saw Ziyah the day she went missing.
Okay, so the day she went missing, she was seen with this lady's brother. And now she is testifying that she saw her brother with this little girl.
From the very beginning, where is it that you think you saw Ziyah?
At the shop on Harbor Encounters.
Okay, and whose shop is that?
my brother Jarvis Butts and his partner.
What's the reason you were at your brother's shop that day?
Something was wrong with the car that I was driving, and I just needed him to check it out to make sure it was safe for me to drive.
Okay, what sister is going to make up that type of story? Okay, unless you got a crappy relationship with your brother, no sister is going to make up that story saying that this girl who had disappeared, she saw the little girl with her brother. Unless y'all got a crappy relationship, no sister is going to make that up.
Okay. Do you recall about what time did you go to Jarvis's shop that day?
About 4 p.m., give or take a few minutes. So I was sitting outside of the shop in my car because they were working on another car on the inside. As I sat there for the time that I was there, I kept seeing a little girl get in and out of his truck, going to the gas station and going back to his car.
So she didn't see this girl on one occasion. She saw her on several occasions.
Get a look at this little girl that you see getting in and out of his car.
I saw her as she was walking. I never saw her face. I just remember her having on a colorful jacket.
Did you know who this little girl was at the time?
No.
And did you ever ask Jarvis who the little girl was?
Yes.
And what did he tell you?
He told me, and I can't remember if it was this exact word, or he said it's my partner's niece, or he said it was King's niece.
Okay, but you knew who he was referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
So she saw the little girl, but she's claiming she really didn't see the face. But the girl had a colorful jacket on.
Did you think anything of it at the time?
No.
Okay. Okay, what is it that made you think something different?
I received phone call, a video call from one of his kids' mom. She told me about some things that happened on Valentine's Day, and then she sent me a video of a podcast about my brother.
So, based on those, do you go and talk to someone else?
Yes.
Okay. Who do you go and talk to?
His partner, King.
Okay.
After I mentioned to him that I had only saw my nieces and one particular little girl, he then told me that that was Ziyah that I saw that day, and I was there.
So her brother's business partner confirmed that the little girl was Ziyah that she saw that day.
And
she's clearly upset, guys. She is clearly upset. Just the thought that her brother could do something like this.
And Jarvis is the last person that she is confirmed to have been with, which leads me to the second thing that you need to know about this case. And that is, while the case is circumstantial, the circumstances are pretty strong. This picture of Ziyah was taken the day that she went missing. And pay attention to her glasses because it turns out Jarvis asked one of the mother of his children if he could borrow her car. But when he...
Pretty little girl. Pretty little girl. Horrible.
He returned it, he left something in there.
when is it that Mr. Butts borrowed your vehicle?
January 9th. He called and asked if he can use my car to do something with his son. I didn't get home till about 9 o'clock, and he came to my house to get my car.
Is that 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.?
9 p.m.
9 p.m.? When did Mr. Butts return with your car?
The next morning.
Was this normal, abnormal?
No, not normal.
Not normal? Okay. Did you notice anything in the back seat that was different?
There was a pair of glasses that was left that my son was playing with at the time.
So obviously, the little girl's glasses were found in the back seat in Mr. Butts, the car that he borrowed. In that car, the little girl's glasses was found.
I believe they were clear around the frame part. I don't know what the ends look like, but I do remember they were clear around the frames.
Okay. So you're at the shop. You see your son playing with the glasses. You take them from him. Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay. Now, tell me, what does Jarvis do?
He snatched them from me and said those were his sunglasses.
So he snatches the glasses because he knows those belong to the little girl. Okay. And this lady remembers it She remembers everything. And like she says, it was out of the ordinary for Mr. Butts to borrow her vehicle.
Okay.
Police also looked into Jarvis's phone location data to track his whereabouts and conduct some searches along those lines to see if they can find anything connected to Ziyah. And they did.
As we did our workup and we're looking at different locations that Mr. Butts had been to, as we start breaking down the phone mapping a little bit more on Mr. Butts' phone, it kind of led us to 7 Mile and Berg. So 7 Mile and Berg, there is, it used to be a golf course, which is now shut down.
So now they got Mr. Butts, they got his phone records, tracking him down to see where he was.
Behind that parking lot is the Rouge River. We searched the complete river from 8 Mile all the way down past 96 on foot with cadaver dogs in boats in the water.
What evidence did you find?
We collected a pink jumpsuit, bodysuit style, and then a black hoodie that had a pair of white headphones in one of the pockets, some gloves, a towel, and a pair of red, black, and white gym shoes.
So they found some clothing during their search. So let's see who they believe the clothing belongs to.
That is one of the black, red, and white gym shoes that we collected from the wooded area. That is the black jacket that was collected. It is towards the front of the photograph, kind of behind that tree branch. So yes, that is the paper and the pair of headphones that was recovered from that pocket.
Okay.
So that's going to be the hood of that hooded jacket. We noted that there are several holes in the jacket of unknown origin. That is the pink jumpsuit that we recovered.
So how close was the Rouge River, I guess, to the area that you were searching?
So there was a large parking lot just off of the west side of Berg, and then there was an embankment leading down to the river. I would say less than 500 feet.
Now, the last thing I want to point out concerning these circumstances is that police also believe that they have a motive. Here's a little bit of Ziyah's Aunt Shannon testifying about some of that.
So we're about to hear the motive. And guys, they said it was a bunch of holes in the hoodie. I am praying that Mr. Butts did not shoot this little girl several times. This is horrible.
You could have described the relationship between Ziyah and Jarvis.
Should be just the uncle and the niece relationship, no more than that.
And to fast forward, on January 21st, 2024,
Officer Gardner came to pick up Ziyah's tablet. My mom asked me to put it on the charger. I put it on the charger. The tablet, before the tablet was picked up, I looked inside to this tablet. So the first thing I went to was Instagram, which I was scrolling. And I seen Jarvis Butts' Instagram page. I clicked on his page and I seen 2 messages.
were the messages of a sexual nature?
No.
Okay.
It was 2 sent pictures, but you can't really make anything out. It wasn't nothing there, but you know, it was a picture was sent. Called him while he was at work, asked him, what is these messages I seen between you and my niece? And he said, what messages? Said it's 2 particular messages that states out in this picture. And he stated that, I don't know, on these messages.
So evidently, this is the little girl's aunt. And so she is trying to figure out what is going on with the messaging situation going on between Mr. Butts and this little girl.
Told him what the messages were, and he said it was probably our children was messaging him. And I stated no, because I know how our children will text.
All right, now this is your warning. Police did access messages between then 12-year-old Ziyah and 41-year-old Jarvis Butts, and it's bad.
She was 12 and he was 41. He need to be ashamed.
The message, where are we doing it at your choice? A message is replied to Jarvis, says basement. The message is sent to Ziyah from Mr. Butts' phone saying, can you suck my d- please? And
this is to a little girl from a 41-year-old male. This is horrible.
Make sure you erase the messages. Go change your clothes and take your panties off. Are we doing it tonight? I'm ready, fresh, out the shower. You coming over? Don't have school. Asking, you coming? She receives a message from Jarvis that says, stop messing with people and just be mine. I'm finna go to lunch, love you. I can't stop thinking about you either. She sends a message to Jarvis. Hey, you may think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. My phone broke. Are you mad at me? Please don't be mad. Can you tell me why you mad?
He is a pedophile. That's for sure.
He had sent to her, I'm at your house. She says, damn, we was just there. You bet not be in my room. He sends her a message that says, I stole your panties. Didn't I make you come faster than ever? Jarvis, I'm sorry for making you mad, but do you ever think how I feel knowing that I can't have you to myself? But you have me to yourself, and no, I'm not seeing anybody else, I swear. Then you going to hit it from the back again?
He's sending these disgusting messages back and forth to this little girl.
Bae for life, B-A-E, the number 4, and then life. Are you naked yet? Come on, Bae, I'm sorry, just not in the mood right now, I'm sorry. I didn't sneak out for nobody, I swear. I know you're having a rough day, but I swear I'm not lying. Why won't you believe anything I tell you? I'm not like other girls, there is no need for me to lie to you. The meaning is, you're mine and mine only, and all you're mine and will stay mine. Go take them panties off. He sends a message to her that says, I'm trying to can I get my dick sucked today? I just want your body on mine.
Despicable. Despicable. This guy is gross. He needs some help.
She sends, okay, Shan going up there too. Give her some so she can shut up and leave you alone. She only acting like that because she's horny. Come downstairs so I can sit on it real quick. You was right, it hit different outside. Do you like your girls skinny? That's messed up because I was gonna f the shit out of you. I still want you to do it. August 4, 2023 at 22:07 hours, Ziyah sends to Jarvis. Shan and Nana left. Jarvis replies, okay, what you saying? Ziyah then replies back, what you think I'm trying to say? I want to try something. A threesome. You down for it? Thinking about you.
Now, guys, now they talking about a threesome with a 12-year-old little girl.
My period haven't came at all. Hello, you there?
Uh-oh. She didn't have a period. She didn't have a period.
It have not came. Jarvis replies to her, since when? Since I was in the hospital. That was last month. I'm scared. I don't know IDK. What to do? I have to go to the doctor's TM for tomorrow. You said that you took a pregnancy test and it was negative. She replies, it did. Jarvis then replies, so go get another one. I can't. I have no money. 1443, she says, you ain't scared to get a plan B. Get a pregnancy test and bring it later today. Just act like you have to use the bathroom.
Now it looks like he got this little girl pregnant. Okay, so now it looks like there might be a motive coming down the pike.
Jarvis replies, yes. What we doing though? At 2149, she sends back. Jarvis replies, seriously? Ziyah replies, yeah, what else we gonna do? Jarvis replies back to her, where? It now jumps to October 21st at 19:05 hours, and Ziyah sends, hey babe, I need that plan B today. Jarvis sends her the letter Y.
And now jumping to November 27th.
Ziyah sends, I just want to talk. I really don't want to lose you. I don't what's your problem, but I need you to bring me what I need tonight. It's hard doing all this gym shit with this baby.
So evidently she's gaining a little weight. She's having an issue in her gym class. And guys, Mr. Butts do not want everybody to know that this little girl is pregnant. So that might be his motive for this little girl not being here anymore.
If I don't do them, I'm going to get an F. January 9th, 2024 at 14:21, Ziyah sent to Jarvis, don't forget, be there before 3. I will let you know when I'm leaving the school. If you're not there, I will wait. Send okay if you've seen the message so I can delete your number. Jarvis replies, okay, and those messages were deleted.
There was no further communication between Ziyah's text number and Jarvis's number after January.
So evidently all those messages were deleted, but the police were able to obtain those. So Mr. Butts is in big trouble.
Everything I just showed you is from the preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is when prosecutors get to present their witnesses and evidence in front of a judge, and that judge gets to determine if there's enough probable cause that this case should go to trial. And that's what happened for Jarvis. The prosecutors presented everything that I showed you and more to the judge, and not only did she determine that this case should absolutely go to trial, she also had some words for all of the adults that were in Ziyah's life.
So Stevie Wonder can see something is going on between this little girl and Mr. Butts, and it should go to trial because this little girl is missing. Okay, where is she at? And she, at the time that she went missing, there's a great possibility that she was also pregnant by Mr. Butts, who is a 41-year-old man, and she's only 12.
I have to speak on Ziyah Harris and the community. From what I have heard over the last 4 days.
Okay, the judge is about to cut a whole lot of people in half, okay, because she is disgusted by what she hears.
Or given adequate attention and love. I don't know what her father is. I don't have any mention of him in her life, no presence.
So they said that her father passed away. But before he passed away, he really didn't have a relationship with this little girl.
Cordell, aka King, and all the men who saw Jarvis Butts hanging out and always around these young girls, including Ziyah, and his 9-year-old daughter going up to the shop to clean up his shop. There's no mention of CPS, but I wonder what their involvement was over the years, because this was not just a one-year thing. There are text messages at least from 2022 to her adoptive grandmother, Annette Harris.
So it looks like they had a 2-year relationship.
Whose testimony, in my opinion, was very questionable. I understand why the people put her on the stand to establish Ziyah's residence and the houses on Bedford and the regular routine, to establish also that Ziyah was not a runaway child, that she was not a bad kid. But to always send those girls up there to clean up the shop raises questions. And how were there 2 women in the house who have birthed children themselves who did not notice that Ziyah was pregnant? And I believe she was.
Exactly. How do y'all not know that this girl is not having a period and that there is a possibility she might be pregnant?
And not having her period anymore. And what stood out the most was when Annette Harris stood on the stand, and she learned around 6 p.m. that Ziyah did not come home from school, and said she looked around for her and decided to wait until the next morning to call the police.
Why would you wait to the next morning? We're talking about a 12-year-old girl that's missing, and you decide to wait to the next morning. That math doesn't math.
Russian of being devastated from Ziyah going missing. She stated that she had friends help look for Ziyah, but was directed to just wait until the morning to call the police. A grown woman who likely suspected something strange going on didn't feel the need to call the police either. They were both able to go to sleep at night without hearing from Ziyah or having any indication that she was coming home that night.
Exactly. It's like nobody cared. Nobody cared that this little girl was missing. Nobody cared.
As far as the people establishing probable cause, I will focus on count 1 as it's been stated that there is no contention with counts 2 and 3. In count 3, I will amend based off of the motion and the testimony I heard that Ziyah was 12 and not 13 at the time that Jarvis Butts had sexual intercourse with her. The prosecution is correct. You do not have to have a body to establish first-degree premeditated murder. It would have been a much shorter exam had her body been found, but this is where we are. In the last 365 days, no text messages. We all heard today and yesterday that she was very active and frequently texting.
That's right. So all of a sudden she's just going to stop texting for what reason? If she was no longer here on Earth.
No social media for a year. We heard through testimony that she was also active on social media. No phone calls, which she was also able to do according to testimony. No physical sighting of her by anyone. She never came back to school. No one has seen her. Medical records dated from July 2014 to October 2023 indicated that she had no life-threatening medical issues that would lead to a natural cause of death.
Exactly. So something happened to her.
While this is still probable cause, the evidence all points to Jarvis Butts. His locations, him being seen with her last, the abortion searches, the abrupt silence between the two of them in text messages, and the constant lies he told throughout the entire investigation.
Yeah, she brought up a very good point. Okay, why did Mr. Butts stop texting her? If he thought she was still alive, he still would be texting her like, hey, where you at? What happened? That didn't happen. The text messages stopped abruptly between both of them.
We may never know what happened, but from what I heard today and over the last 4 or 5 days, it appears he intended to perform what he thought was a do-it-yourself abortion on Ziyah. They went south, and instead of seeking medical attention for her, he intentionally killed her and tried his best to cover it up.
So you decided to kill her?
Want her to be alive today? There is at least probable cause to show and believe that she's dead and she was murdered by Jarvis Butts.
I totally agree. I totally agree that he killed her. I'm not really sure that he tried to assist her with an abortion, but I believe he killed her because he knew if this got out that he was having a baby with a 12-year-old, he was going up the river for a very long time.
Mr. Butt, stand up. You've been sitting over there for 4 days with your head down, sitting between and behind your attorney with your mask on and taking vigorous notes. I want you to pay attention and listen to everything I have to say. I have been trying to figure out for the last 5 days, you. At one point, I thought you were cognitively impaired in the beginning of this exam. And then maybe you had the brain of a 10-year-old, and that's why you were doing such things. But as I heard more and more testimony, you're just a true definition of a pedophile.
True.
Watching you laugh and brag about all the women you have with different women and the children and the girlfriends, and making babies to groom them, and having them in your presence, cleaning up your shop, and the little girls around you, has landed you here today. You groomed Ziyah. You played mind games with her. We all heard that. You controlled her emotionally. She was exposed to so much at such a young age.
Exactly.
The text messages between you two were disgusting to hear.
Disgusting.
And to think that she had you saved in her phone as bae for life. Ziyah deserves so much more. And while I mentioned other people that failed her, Jarvis Butts, you are the monster in this whole picture.
So you decided to kill her?
Her parents and everyone who was in her life. She was ignored, she was neglected, and you took complete advantage of that.
Sad.
She wanted someone to love her, and she will never know what that feels like. Your children deserve more.
Sad. Whole situation is sad.
As much as the defense counsel has raised issues on count one, all that has done is raise the question of fact.
Everybody failed this little girl. From her mother to her grandmother to her aunt to this pedophile that she thought she loved. Everybody failed her. The judge is absolutely correct.
For the trial fact, which means that this will be for a jury or a judge to hear in Third Circuit. I pray for the healing of all the victims and young girls and possibly boys who have come into contact with you. As a community, we should look at this case as a prime example of how much work we have to do when it comes to protecting our children and especially our black girls.
The defenses, well, they were banking on the fact that they don't have an actual body. They have not recovered her body.
I pray for closure and healing for all those who have been traumatized by you. And for you, Jarvis Butts, I wish you a speedy trial and that justice be delivered. Your bind over date is January 16th at 9 o'clock a.m. Anything else for the record?
I'll give you a thank you.
So you decided to kill her?
Do the right thing and tell us where she's at, please. I'm sorry, Judge. Just do it, Jarvis. Where is she at, Jarvis? Just tell us. You don't got an over.
That's a shame. So he is refusing to tell everybody where this little girl is at. He knows he killed her.
Judge, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to disrespect your court.
They hate you.